If you're looking for a new job this year, before you take that leap, you should consider the downsides of that potential employer. LaSalle Network founder and CEO Tom Gimbel joins us to explain. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Micah. How are you?
I'm good. So if you're looking for a new job, don't jump so quickly, right?
I think you have to be really considerate to why you're thinking of moving. Is it the role you're in? Is it the company? Is it an emotional decision? Is it monetarily? There's so many reasons to leave, but there's also a lot of reasons to stay. And it might sound crazy coming from a guy running a recruiting firm, but you really should think about why you should stay. And sometimes that might be the harder choice, but it might end up being more worthwhile.
But why?
Well, a lot of times we leave for the wrong reasons. And one of the things that I've been kind to espouse about is around the concept of maybe you just don't like the functions of the job you're in. Maybe you're in the wrong job, not the wrong company. And if you're an accountant at company A, to go be an accountant at company B isn't going to necessarily make you happier.
It's gonna be the
And so
same
you
old
really
stuff.
have to, yeah, you got to think about what aspects you like. And I hopefully we're getting out of this phase of everything should be perfect, because nothing about any job, and nothing about every job is perfect. And you have to, is that a double negative, Micah? You have to
Yes.
realize that you're not going to love every single aspect of what you're doing. And you've got to focus on the longer term vision.
So what are some questions you should ask yourself before you even start looking for a new
Well,
job?
I really believe it starts with your conversation with your manager.
Oh, your current manager.
Yeah, I believe that you should talk to your manager and say, what do you believe I'm best at? What do you believe are the areas that I'm not strong at? Sometimes what you're not good at isn't an area of improvement. Sometimes you just don't have the ability to grow in certain capacities. And I think so often we think, oh, everybody can grow in everything. They can't. And you should really try to figure out what your strengths are and capitalize on those. And then you've got to ask yourself, what are my main drivers? Are they more responsibility? Is it to make more money? Is it to have more flexibility? And you've got to rank those things and figure out what you're really lacking, because sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence.
But money is usually the main thing people are looking for. So if you go from accountant job A, which is, you're not real happy with, they pay you nothing, but you go to accountant job B and you won't be real happy, but you get a lot more money.
I don't think, I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree if that were the scenario. I don't think that's necessarily it. I think people won't admit that they're unhappy and they're only money driven. I agree with you. If I hate my job and I'm going to hate it no matter what,
Right.
and I don't have the guts to try something new, should I go for where I can get the most money doing it? Okay, there's an argument to be made there. But there's also an argument to be made that if you go and you're the low person on the totem pole, what's going to happen to you if times get tough?
First
And
to
you've
go,
got to
too.
figure out what's the amount of money? What's the difference that's going to make you emotionally feel safe in a job? Right? If you leave someplace, $10,000 may seem like a lot of money. And if you're making $50,000, that's 20%. That is 20% is a lot. However, if you're the first person to get cut if things go badly, maybe it's not worth it. And I think those are the types of conversations that you really need to have a good mentor or friend to talk to about it, because it can't just be about, I should get more money, they've been taking advantage of me. Okay. Well, did something else trigger that? And to really go a little bit deeper into the career process.
Yeah, last hired, first fired, and you should.
Sometimes.
There may be some good things in that old job, so don't jump so quickly, right?
Yeah, and you have a relationship with coworkers. Are they investing in you? Do they believe in you? And I think a lot of times you can reinvent your own job, Micah. You can go to your manager and say, is there more I could be, if I want to make more money, is there more that I can be doing? And a lot of times it's having the confidence in yourself to say, I'd really like to make more money. Can you help me outline a path of what I need to do in order to earn that money? Okay. And those are things that conversations, because there may be another job that your manager's thinking of hiring for. Maybe they'll give it to you and pay you a percentage of that salary.
Oh, sounds like a great idea. Thank you, Tom. Have a good day.
Every once in a while I have one, Micah. Not often, but every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Thank you. Take care. Have a good week.